Professor John Mugisha, the Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University, Uganda. I welcome you to this program, to this webinar, and today we will be talking about choosing the right university for your career. This webinar is intended to benefit those who completed their senior 6, but of course also those who completed diplomas and other qualifications that are equivalent of senior 6 that could enable them to go to university. The webinar should certainly also benefit those who completed their foundation programs, which are bridging courses that benefit students or qualify students to join university, but also those who sat what we call university mature entry exams from the designated universities that administer those exams. And after those exams, you are eligible to join university education. So the topic of discussion today is choosing the right university for your career. I welcome you to this webinar. Again, I am Professor John Mugisha, Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University, Uganda. Let me begin by talking about career, because we are talking about choosing the right university for your career. What is career? Career is defined in many ways, and it implies many things to different people. But for the sake of the senior 6 leavers, those who want to join university, I want to look at career as an occupation which is undertaken for a significant period of a person's life. What you choose to do for a significant period of your life. That's what we can call a career. It is related to an occupation, related to a job. That's a career. So thinking about career formation, thinking about qualifying for a particular career or occupation, what university should you choose? Now, I want to take us back to what actually takes a person to a university. Before you even thinking about the qualities of a good university, I think it is important for us to talk about what takes a person to a university. What is going to take you to a university as somebody who completed senior 6, or you hold a diploma, or any other qualification that makes you eligible to join university education. Somebody might say this is a simple question. I go to a university to earn a degree or to earn a diploma, because universities also offer diplomas and other qualifications. Well, that's not enough. Getting a degree in medicine, a degree in accountancy, a degree in marketing, a degree in nursing, a degree in social work, or whatever degree you have chosen for yourself is not enough to make you successful in your chosen career. So you've got to get more than just a degree from a university. Of course, you need a degree. But there are several other things that should be taking you to a university. If you think only about a degree or a diploma, I want to invite you to expand your horizon, to widen your expectations. The university should give you exposure to new ways of life. So as you think about a university to join, think about that as well. Exposure to new ways of life, experience with diverse cultures. Maybe you are from a certain part of Uganda, or Kenya, or Tanzania. You belong to a particular ethnic group. That limits or defines your perception of life and how you work with others and what you think about them. A university should widen this scope, should widen this exposure, and give you experiences with diverse cultures, diverse ethnicities, people from diverse backgrounds. If you are from a rural area, maybe you want a university to give you some exposure to urban life, because many jobs are in fact in urban settings, and developed countries are highly urbanized. Also in the developing world, we say that for us to develop, we need to increase the rate of urbanization without destroying the environment. So maybe that exposure is important. Maybe business and entrepreneurship kind of exposure. So you've got to think about some of those also as another possible reason, another justification for you to go to a university. Of course, social networks, and I'm going to be speaking about this. If you just come out of a university with only a degree and you have not built a web of networks and collaborations, then that degree or diploma might not be very useful to you. Of course, also a university should help you to develop other talents, some of which may even be hidden. Debating skills, creativity skills, singing, music, dance and drama, games and sports, leadership skills. A university should be able to bring these out. So this is what takes you to a university. Do not look only at a university degree or a diploma and you say, this is what is taking me. Many students, unfortunately, join the university when they think that they are only going to gain a degree, get a job, start working. I will be speaking about the difference between jobs and employability. Many people even get into jobs, but quickly lose them, or stagnate and do not develop within those jobs because they are not employable. And so I will be saying that universities, rather than emphasize training for jobs, should in fact now begin emphasizing skills for employability. I'll get back to you on that. So for those who have just joined us, I am Professor John Mugisha, the Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University, Uganda, and I'm taking you through the procedures, the considerations for choosing the right university for your career. So you are welcome. A good university is a place that should transform you into a responsible, educated, employable, but also entrepreneurial citizen or person. What do I mean? Many universities do not necessarily mind about responsibility. You go to study nursing or accounting or whatever you're going to study, and they concentrate, they build the curriculum to give you skills to do that. And they concentrate on that, and you get out and look for a job. But you realize that today, many employers are complaining about employees who are not responsible. They open the door and they cannot close it. They are given an assignment and they just go and keep it and share it, and they do not mind about timelines. They are given assets and property to work with, and they just mismanage those assets and items that are given to them, the devices to work with, help them do their jobs well. They are not responsible. And so sometimes they lose the jobs or they stagnate on the jobs. So a university should help you to gain responsibility, to develop a sense of responsibility, but also to make you educated. Being educated means that you begin to change your behavior. You are civilized. Education is that which changes behavior. But of course, from an academic perspective, you should also develop a wide scope of knowledge to build your intellectual capabilities, to be able to reason about things, to examine problems and devise solutions. That's what education is all about. To make you employable, and I will be talking about employability skills in greater detail, because that is critical to career success, employability skills. And then, of course, also entrepreneurship, which has to do with ability to think of things that are new, that can add value to yourself, to your job, to your family, to your community, to your nation. You notice that many people are not employed and are not entrepreneurial. They get into the job and they just keep doing that one job. They never think of anything new. they begin on a career and work to the time of retirement, and they have not started any business, any organization, and they tell you we worked very hard, now we have retired honorably. They have kept using the same skills, the same knowledge that they gained from the university, and they have not used those skills to benefit society in a much bigger way. So a good university should help you to get transformed into a responsible, educated, employable, and entrepreneurial citizen or person. A good university, of course, should give you knowledge. I have talked about knowledge. It should give you skills. Skills refer to the ability of using knowledge to perform a task. Knowledge is not for its own sake. It is to help you improve yourself, help you do your job. So ability to use the knowledge to perform a task is what we call a skill. But it should also give you competencies. A competence is the ability to apply appropriate knowledge to perform an appropriate task and realize appropriate results. If you misapply the knowledge and get a wrong result, you are not competent. So you can be knowledgeable but not skilled. You can be skilled but not competent. A university should make you knowledgeable, should make you skilled, but should also make you competent. But more than those three, a good university should be a place where your attitude and mindset are actually shaped. Attitude refers to a settled way of thinking. In this world, you will do what you think you can do. What you think you are able to do is what you will do. Your mindset will determine how far you will go. Somebody has said that attitude determines altitude. How far you can climb or rise depends on your mindset and on your attitude. You need a university that can help to shape your mindset and your attitude for you to know that you have the capacity to undertake several tasks, to manage in whatever situation, to solve whatever problems come your way, and to succeed in life. You need that mindset. Because without it, the skills will not help you, the knowledge will not help you. A good degree on paper would not be very useful. I talked about employability skills as something that a good university should give you. What are the employability skills? Employability skills refer generally to the quality of being suitable for work. I need to acknowledge some of the viewers that have already shared comments. I think there is Shibuta Fred, and is asking about tuition fees and discounts. I will get back to you on that. I think there is Gaia, Mukhtar. That one is making a good compliment. Thank you. There is Nana Dut Peot. I think this is an alumnus of this university. Thanks. So I will be responding to the comments that you raise and to the questions. Thanks all of you. Aten Joke, Emmanuel, Ibrahim, Edwards Francesca. Thanks for viewing, for joining us. There are some people watching us from Dubai. Rogers Boz. Thank you, Rogers, for joining us from Dubai. And Josephine Mbabazi, Thanks, Fiona, Tracy, and others. As I said, I will respond to your comments. And I think Shibuta is pushing me to the issue of tuition fees, and I will be getting back to that because that is an important consideration when you are deciding on the right university for your chosen career. I was speaking about employability. Today, many people are preoccupied with jobs. You know, they think about jobs. When you think about a university, you are thinking about a job. Rather than prepare you for a job, a good university should focus on employability. This is the quality of being suitable for work and for employment. There are so many skills in there. Dependability and reliability. Respect. Patience. Adaptability. Ability to be flexible and to work under various circumstances and conditions. Ability to work in a team. These are our employability skills, and you need them because without them, you will be a doctor who will not be very happy in your job. You may not work well with others, and they may complain, and you get transferred. Eventually, they may say you can't work here, and you fail to get hired to work. So these employability skills are very critical. Every university will give you a degree. But what goes with this degree that prepares you for the world of work? That is very, very important, and you need to think about it. I talked about, we have been speaking about employability. There is exposure to experience of working with industry and with several organizations. I have mentioned exposure to various ethnic groups and nationalities. You may need to consider about that. We, as Cavendish University Uganda, for instance, we carry out a number of student surveys, and when we ask students, what brings you to Cavendish University Uganda? A big proportion of students respond that we come because it is an international university with several nationalities. Our students come from over 25 different countries. And so many students say we come to Cavendish because of that exposure. We want to be able to study with people from Somalia, from Cameroon, from Nigeria, from South Sudan, from Rwanda, Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo, from Uganda, from several nationalities. Here in Cavendish, in fact, Ugandans now constitute around 45% of the student population. The vast majority of students are international students and from different countries. Many students said we like this because it helps us to know that then after work you can get a job anywhere and go there comfortably and work. If you are not exposed to this kind of environment, working with people from other cultural backgrounds, it might become difficult. I remember my own experience years back. I was a young hospital administrator. I had worked very hard. I gained a promotion. I was still actually on probation. When they gave me promotion, they also confirmed me in service in the same meeting into the public service. The public service rarely does that. But when I was posted to another part of the country, for those of you who are Ugandans, I was working in Western Uganda, in Ntungamo district, and I was posted to Gulu Regional Referral Hospital in Northern Uganda as a senior hospital administrator. My friends called 3 meetings, 3, to try to persuade me not to take up the promotion. Why? They said that is a different ethnic group of people. They are very tough. You will not manage. But because during my undergraduate training at the university, I had worked with people from different ethnicities, and some of them were my best friends, even from this region. I told them, no, I will go and work. And I went and worked very well. Later, I would go back home with some of my friends from that part of the country, and people realized that there was nothing wrong. So you need that kind of exposure. You need industry experience. I know some universities use internships to try and give their students some industry experience. Others do not, in fact, even do that very well. But some use internships. I didn't attend internship as an undergraduate student. That time, internships were for very few programs. Those studying medicine, those studying teaching and education, they are the ones who are doing internship. Today, a good university should give internship opportunities to every student because you have to prepare them for the world of work. We are also saying that we can go an extra mile, and that's what we have done at Cavendish University, Uganda. Rather than depend only on internship, we use industry practitioners to co-teach or to teach alongside our professors and lecturers. So we have industry practitioners that actually come in. But also when we're employing lecturers, by the way, we give priority to those that have worked and gained sufficient experience so that they teach what they have been doing. There's a lot of additional knowledge that you accumulate from practice. And so we give that one special consideration. So industry experience is very important because it helps you to begin working from day one when actually you get a job and you become immediately productive. Of course, you need exposure to business and urban life if you are from a rural area, and then you also do your university education from the same rural area or from your village. You will end up getting challenges when they advertise jobs in another part of the country or even in a different country. You may think you cannot manage staying with other people. So if you are from a rural area, you should aim to study from an urban setting. And you should aim to study with different cultures, different, to have that wide exposure to help you to begin to feel comfortable and confident to work in all parts of the country, to work in different countries, and prepare yourself also to study from other universities in Europe, in the US, and in other parts and in other continents. That's very important. I want to talk about opportunity to grow your talents. I alluded to that when we are just starting. A good university should give you opportunities to grow your talents. There are talents that you have. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't even know them. Debating skills, music, dance, and drama, games and sports, leadership skills, creativity and entrepreneurship. These and other talents are important, and they are the ones that will prepare you in life. You need them as a doctor, you need them as a lawyer, you need them as a human resource officer, you need them as a teacher and education administrator, you need them as a social worker, you need them in whatever profession. What actually happens is that in many universities, there is a curriculum and it doesn't have these talents included. So if you are a student of human resource management, you are dealing with several things to do with human resource management, and you stop there, you get a degree, maybe you get a first class, second class, up or whatever class of a degree, and you go out. We are now saying that's not enough. If a university is giving you only that, it is probably not the university that you need to go to. These skills are very, very important because they help you to do your job with confidence, to become creative on whatever job, you choose to do, and get promoted. But also to add value to your organization once you get the job. In this university, because I'm discussing this and I've had a chance to preside over the university for the past 4 years, we have several student competitions targeting to equip them with creativity skills. We partner with several organizations which give some funds to students who become creative. And they get into competitions at university level, at the national level, at Africa level, and at an international level, at the global level. And students are encouraged to come up with projects and to show how this project is going to increase employment, is going to solve several social problems, is going to improve humanity. We get our students to get involved into these kind of competitions, and we realize a lot of potential. We get surprised at how the students are able to come up with project ideas that you say, wow, these guys are going to be beneficial to mankind. So these skills should come up. All debating skills. We have debating clubs for students, and those of you who have relatives that are in higher education, maybe already in universities, you could have certainly heard about students of Cavendish University, Uganda, debating, because on occasions they become the best in the country and in the region. So these skills need to come out. And leadership skills. A university should provide opportunities to lead your fellow students in several clubs, several students associations. Here we also have even national groups. So we have a president for the guild government and the different ministers, but also every national group has its own government and a president. So there is a president of the Tanzanian students in the university, a president of the Kenyan students in the university, Rwandese students in the university, and something like that. And to get to those positions, you have to campaign, you have to work out a manifesto, you have to show the value you will add to your community. So they realize you benefit. You are able to develop your leadership skills. Those who have just joined, I want to welcome you. I see several new names making comments. Emma Mbawala, Geoffrey Ochoa Mali, I'm seeing Kakuru Thomas, Isaiah Katichilo, Melissa Bosco, and some of you have actually questions. Melissa is asking, what ideas can you give to your students where the equivalence is not applicable to students from CUU in some countries? Yeah, I will respond to that. Somebody is proposing, is saying, are you planning to introduce a course of Bachelor of Clinical Sciences? It's something we can think about. There is a consideration we have when we are introducing programs. One, we do research. At Cavendish University, Uganda, we are data-driven. We do research to find out who needs this program. Where will the people work? What value will they add to society when they are working? Is there another group of people satisfying the same requirements, providing the same services, so that we don't have to duplicate? We don't want to begin programs for the sake. The programs we start are those that add value to humanity, where we don't have already similar programs doing a good job, and where we think that students will immediately get employed. So that's the kind of response I can give you. And the one who asked about equivalence, there is a collaboration between different countries when it comes to education. For instance, in East Africa, we have East African Community Higher Education Common Area. It actually means that if you study from one university in a country, and that university is recognized, if you go to another university, to another country, your qualifications should be recognized. Where authorities for higher education in your country have challenges understanding the recognition or interpreting the qualifications of a given country, they can ask their counterpart Commission for Higher Education. In Uganda, we have the National Council for Higher Education for interpretation. And once they get the response from that country, then your qualifications will be recognized. That's how we get to recognize qualifications from different universities. So where there is a challenge, usually what universities do, they deal with the National Council for Higher Education, and through that body, they are able to inform the Higher Education Commission in another country to know the value of these qualifications and to be able to produce what we call an equivalence or a recognition that can help you to get the job. Okay, so we are talking about how to choose a good university for your career. And we are talking about what a good university gives you. We talked about it gives you a good degree. So that means knowledge, skills, competencies, of course, also attitude. But we said it should also give you several other things: exposure, networks, and I'm talking about these in great detail to be able to help you to make the correct decision. A good university should give you an opportunity to develop generic skills. Generic skills. What do I mean? There are skills that you need regardless of the profession you chose for yourself, regardless of the job you are actually doing. I need these skills as a vice chancellor. A bishop also needs the skills. A mufti also needs these skills. A cabinet minister needs the same skills. A bank manager will need these skills, as well as a medical director of a hospital. What skills am I talking about? IT skills. IT literacy skills. You need these skills now in the modern world, even if you are not a student of computer science, information technology, software engineering, or name it. A good university today should give every student sufficient IT skills to be able to work. Because now we apply IT skills everywhere. You need them as an accountant, you need them as a doctor. We are talking of telemedicine, we are talking of, e-medical records, we are talking of e-CME, continuous medical education, and others. Many things are now digital, many things are now electronic. So you actually need sufficient IT skills. So check on the course outline of a university and for the program you want to study. If you find it is only about nursing, only about medicine, only about human resource management, only about social work, and these skills I'm talking about are not part of the menu, you know that you will get a degree, but you may not be prepared for work in the 21st century. So I have mentioned IT skills. You need them. For instance, now the world was struck by COVID-19. All education institutions of learning shut down. And indeed, many shut down completely and went away. Those that were innovative did not actually shut down completely. Cavendish University, Uganda continued working. What we did, we just transitioned. We transited our contact students who used to go to the classroom into students that would study using our platform. And they joined our distance learning students. We opened accounts for them. We already had a learning platform. And so we started engaging them using Cavendish University learning platform. But many universities shut down. The students went away, no email, no nothing from the university. Those who had completed, they have never graduated. Why should a university in the 21st century fail to graduate students? Because there is COVID-19. When at Cavendish University, Uganda, we came up with ideas of a virtual and scientific graduation, many people were asking, how are they going to do it? Well, we did it. We did a very successful virtual and scientific graduation. And so our students who are in Tanzania, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, DRC, those who completed, we published their names on our website. We held a scientific function, but we are streaming it live on our Facebook page like we are doing now, and on NBS. And the students followed the graduation, and they all graduated, they got their documents, and they are out working. That's what a modern university should be doing. Nobody should shut down and stop every business just because there is COVID-19. So that's part of the IT skills that I'm talking about. Communication skills. You need these as a doctor, you need them as a lawyer, you need them as an accountant, you need them as a teacher, you need them. Despite, in spite of whatever profession you actually chose for yourself. Business skills. We all need business skills. Without ability to conceptualize, to bring business ideas into what we are doing, we will not manage. The church needs business skills to be able to manage itself. Schools need business skills. Hospitals need business skills. Ideas of effectiveness, ideas of productivity, ideas of efficiency, ideas of marketing, ideas of customer care are universally applicable and needed everywhere. And these are business ideas. A good university should be able to give you a sufficient dose of these skills and ideas. That's when you will be able to add value to yourself, to your organization, and to humanity. Critical thinking skills. That should be a generic skill given to every student and all students, regardless of their professions. Marketing skills, and so on and so forth. Again, a good university should give you this. Now I want to come to the question of Fred asked something about tuition fees and discounts. Now, the purpose of starting a university or any education institution is to make it possible for all those deserving students to access university education. Some have school fees to pay. Others are very brilliant. They can benefit society in the future, but they don't have the money. A good university should be that one which can offer scholarships, can offer some bursaries, can offer discounts. Let me just give you an example of what we are doing here at Cavendish University, Uganda. We give scholarships. For the past 3 years, we've been giving what we call academic merit scholarships. What are these scholarships? If you got 12 points and above at A-level sitting, but you balance them where you have 3 principal passes within those 12 points and above, you come, you make an application form, and then we give you another exam which we call scholarship entry exam. Why do we give another exam? It's because we know that the points you score in A level may not necessarily mean that you are better than those who scored lower points. It may be because of the dynamics relating to the school, relating to the conditions that obtained at the time of exams. And indeed, those who come with 18 points, when they do our entry exam, they perform lower than those who came with only 13 points. So we add another exam. When you pass that, you study without paying for 3 years or for 4 years, depending on the duration of your program. Those are called academic merit scholarship opportunities. We also, of course, offer discounts. For instance, our students who pay promptly, you pay on day 1. They get a percentage of discount. So if you keep paying promptly, you'll be having 10% off. If you refer other students to your university, for each student you refer for that semester, you have 10% off. Why do we do it that way? It's because there is a known cost of running any business, including a university. So if the cost of running a university, let me just use an example. If the cost of running a university is 10 million shillings, and you are only one student in that university, literally it means you will be paying 10 million to support the university to run and teach you. But if you are 10 students, it actually means that you will share that 10 million and every student will pay 1 million. If you are 100 students, then it will become less. Each one will pay 100,000 shillings. So in other words, a student who refers another student is helping to reduce. By the students becoming more, they will share the cost. And so that's why you get actually the discount, because you are helping all other students not to have school fees increase. For instance, we may not increase school fees because the number of students is growing. One student will pay the teachers. 10 students will share the cost. 100 students will share that cost. And so everybody will pay less. So we have all those different referral discounts. And so, excuse me, students need to know them. So a good university should provide those opportunities. In fact, here in Cavendish, we have a number of students that always get discounts. Those who pay promptly, those who keep referring other students. We have many students that pay up, sometimes they pay 50% of their tuition fees because other percentage goes in terms of discounts. So it is something that is very important, and this should be beneficial to you who are thinking about universities. Think about those universities that can lessen your financial burden, especially for paying tuition fees. I want to get back to the point of providing a conducive environment for learning. There are some aspects I didn't talk about. A good university should be that one where you are able to study, you are able to grow, you are able to learn so many things. Because we are in the digital age, the university should facilitate you with sufficient internet on campus. At Cavendish University, Uganda, for instance, there is free Wi-Fi to provide internet to every student on campus. Every student. There is free Wi-Fi for all students, for all staff. So you can be able to do a lot of learning. When you have these skills, and there are challenges like the shutdown which we had because of COVID-19, then you are able to study remotely. This is the reason why our university was able to keep studying, our students kept studying, and our teachers kept teaching remotely. At first, we were doing it almost alone or with a few other universities. Later, the National Council for Higher Education and the government came in and gave guidelines for universities to teach online. Those of you who have been following the news, Cavendish University, Uganda was among the first 3 universities that were allowed by government to teach online. It's because those universities already had facilities and were already, in fact, engaging their students online. They never shut down. They just transited their students from contact mode of study to online mode of study. So at the moment, we are still 3, I think, universities. So digital literacy, free Wi-Fi, that's part of the conducive environment I'm talking about. Of course, when contact classes are in session, you need to have modern in-class facilities. If you study from an institution where the buildings are dilapidated, the furniture is old, the toilets are smelly, when you go to work, you will just do the same, because that's what you are exposed to. Select institutions that mind about quality everywhere. Because when you are using this kind of quality, when you go to work, you mind about the same quality, and this is what you take to your place of work. But also in your own home, when you are using this kind of quality, it actually means that even in your own home, You guarantee the same standards because you are using those standards. A modern university today should have modern in-class facilities fitted with comfortable furniture, audiovisual gadgets and devices, so that it is a modern place of learning and teaching. There is another aspect. This is being responsible or responsiveness to students' needs. In many universities, when you are admitted, you are expected to attend your classes, do your assignments, and do whatever the teachers tell you. Nobody asks you whether you are comfortable, whether there is something that is not going on right, whether you want a few things to be changed. Nobody asks you those questions. A good university should frequently carry out student satisfaction surveys, by the way. Here at Cavendish University, Uganda, we carry out 2 student satisfaction surveys. Then we have also what we call instructor or lecturer evaluation survey. So regularly we ask students, what are you happy with? What do you want us to change? And we take them to different areas: computer labs, studios, classroom, lecture attendance, office hours. You know, we ask several questions, library facilities and resources, and we get to know where the students are not being well served, and we improve. When they are evaluating their lecturers, we call every lecturer and give individualized feedback. We say students say that when you give assignments, you don't give feedback in time. You don't help the students to do remedial work. You don't give personalized attention. You have published office hours, but you are not in office during that time. Students come and you are not there for consultation. So that is very, very important. Responsiveness to students' needs. And you can only be responsive if you in fact do a survey, periodic surveys for students to understand these needs. You can't guess them on behalf of the students or for students. You have to hear them from the students themselves. And a good university should be able to do that. A university should have efficient processes. For instance, monitoring monitoring students' class attendance. We always do that. By the way, there are also regulations by the National Council of Higher Education that a student should attend at least 75% of the classes. So to help our students, we keep monitoring their attendance. Those who are not doing well in terms of attendance, we speak to them, we understand their challenges. Because we also have materials on the platform, if there is a reason why they are not coming to class for that course unit, we can put them on our platform to study the same content and answer questions via the platform if they cannot come to class, so that we monitor their attendance online. So you see, for us, we have a wide range, and I think that's what a modern university should really offer to the students, having a wide range of avenues for students to learn and to have their participation monitored. So if a student cannot come to class for one reason or the other and says, I'm attending to my sick patient and this is going to be for a long time, I don't want to miss my classes for the course units for that time, we can put you online. While attending to your patient at night, you actually do your work. And we do regular comparative surveys and studies to find out how students who study from class and those who study from, study online, how they perform. And we have always found actually that those studying online, by the way, perform slightly better than those studying from class. But you've got to be trained on how to study online in a mature way. We provide that training. So there is that monitoring which is necessary. Students' participation is monitored. We balance in class and out of class experiences so that students can be exposed to those. And there is emphasis on what we call blended learning. Face-to-face learning goes on, but also there is what we call technology-mediated learning. For instance, in our classes, If a class is for 3 hours, you study for 2 hours with the teacher. Then there is work which you should do on your own or with colleagues. We call it technology mediated hour. There are clear learning objectives, and you go on the internet and you make a lot of discoveries and answer certain questions, and then you will make a presentation. This is meant to give every student sufficient computer skills, but also to make them brilliant. Colleagues, a brilliant student is no longer the one who knows answers and can produce them in an examination, pass the exam. No. A brilliant student is one who knows where to get the answers, where to get the information when it is needed, how to reorganize it, how to package it, and how to disseminate it to an appropriate audience. So for us to be able to give these skills, to impart these skills, we need to develop students' ability to look for the information themselves using several information sources and resources. I'm coming to the last part of this presentation, and those who have just joined, I am Professor John Mugisha, Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University, Uganda. We are talking about choosing the right university for your career, and this discussion was meant to benefit Senior 6 students, those who completed Senior 6, but also all others who are likely to give help to their relatives who want to make decisions concerning a university that they should be joining. I want to thank those who have joined us from different countries. I'm seeing some people who have joined us from South Sudan. Akot Tongyot, thank you for joining us. Conrad Mike, thank you for joining us. I can see you have a question that why don't you consider specialized education programs like business education, computer education? Actually, these are not even specialized. We give business education, but business education, which is for teachers, is about adding education programs, teaching, professional programs, business studies, and then you get business education. Also, computer science with education is about getting computer science, and then you add education. We have, as Cavendish University, Uganda, now we are not teaching education programs to produce teachers because there are several other institutions doing that. But what they actually do is to add teaching profession to these other professions, and then somebody goes out. And somebody is asking, I think this is Anthony Mush, that when will you start offering PhD programs? I think this one will need to come in another session when we are talking about those who are joining postgraduate programs. He's interested in the PhD. We are not providing PhD programs at the moment, but we are helping students who want to do PhDs through our collaborative networks to also get good universities for PhDs. And we ourselves, some of us are actually, we are supervising PhD programs in other universities. So we connect students to those universities. But we may think about, indeed, starting PhD programs ourselves. Personally, now I have supervised PhD programs at some other universities. I have 2 students at Kenyatta University, if you want. I've had a student at the University of Dar es Salaam. I have a student at the Pan-African University located in Ibadan. I have one who has just completed from Uganda Matters University. I have been contacted by Mbarara University of Science and Technology to supervise a PhD student. So, and we have not finalized that arrangement with Mbarara because I want to first get rid also of these that are about to finish. So we supervise PhD students and we can direct them to some places where they can go, but it's something to think about. And you are giving us a challenge, Anthony. We shall take it up. I see Msings Wilson, who is watching us live. Thank you. We have about 5 minutes to go. Thanks, Paul Deng. You are watching us from Juba and Corey West. Thanks to all of you. I see you are quite many who are watching us from different countries, from Tanzania, from Kenya, from Dubai, from the DRC, Thank you for joining us. Now, I want to talk about an aspect of student support. Universities can be lonely places. University education can be a lonely journey. Many universities admit you, and once you go there, they expect to find you in class. They will give you an exam at the end of the semester. If you fail, you repeat. If you pass, you continue. A good university should give you support, sufficient social and academic support along the journey. What do we do here at Cavendish University, Uganda? I talked about our academic merit scholarship offers to students. These students who join us on scholarship on academic merit also help us. Some of them become, they get trained as peer tutors. We also get very good students from other students who are not on scholarship. So the volunteers and who are very capable are trained and they become peer tutors. So here we have what we call academic peer tutors. So if we get a struggling student, we get groups of these and give to other groups of students who have mastered the courses, and they begin helping them. It is not only a teacher who helps a student. Other students can help their colleagues. The students, of course, who are being helped in some course units also help others in different course units. You are not struggling in all the course units. So we have what we call peer-to-peer tutoring. It is something that we have found very beneficial to students. Every lecturer has got office consultation hours, and these are well published. Students know that if I want to see Professor Mugisha, he will be in this office every Thursday from 4 to 5, and I can go to ask any question concerning public health or some course units within public health. Of course, we also offer personalized teaching so that when we detect a problem early by giving constant, continuous academic assessment tests, then we are able to give remedial or to give intervention to a student which is personalized so that a student can be able to improve. A good university should impart skills for innovation and competitiveness. And I have mentioned the various competition clubs that we have which promote skills among our students, which is why our students are very good debaters. Our students are good at entrepreneurship, and they start several businesses on their own. In fact, many of our graduates are in self-employment, but those who are in other employment, they also have started their own personal businesses that they manage along their jobs. We also give practical skills to students studying IT, computer science, which is why many of them have come up with new apps. They have developed apps to identify a place of referral where there is a doctor, to identify where there is a job, to manage transport. If you are into transport business, how can you monitor where your vehicles have gone and what they are charging and how the conductors and your drivers are behaving? Our students have developed all those apps, and that's part of the deliberate policy to impart skills for innovation and creativity. I have talked about the discounts. I've talked about the bursaries. I have talked about the scholarships. I want to look at some of your questions again. I see Brian Mali. Is there a plan for a master's degree in development studies or sustainable development? Where we actually teach related subjects, by the way. We do not have a specific degree called development studies, but you see all those studying public administration, all those studying international relations and diplomatic studies have an aspect of development studies. Even those studying business administration, there is an aspect of development studies. But some people want a degree titled degree in development studies. We do not offer that, but it's something to think about. Somebody is saying, is there a plan for opening a branch in South Sudan? Nice idea, thanks. You want us in South Sudan, we can talk about it, we'll have a conversation. And you are not the only one, by the way. We've had a request even from very senior government officials for us to open a branch in South Sudan. At the moment, we are trying to open, to begin collaboration with universities in South Sudan, so that, for instance, our distance learning students can sit exams from those universities. But if you want us to open a branch there, we can have a conversation. And indeed, many people, including very senior government officials from South Sudan, have come up with that request. I recognize that and I respect that view, and it is something that we are going to think about. How can a university fail to graduate its students in the 21st century? Oh, this was a comment from Emmanuel Lomulie. Yeah, it's a question that I asked, and we are not part of those universities. We have graduated our students, and thanks. But I think universities have to start somewhere. So I know that some others we have been sharing ideas, and many universities are going to graduate their students online and virtually, and so this is going to happen with many universities. Universities have to start somewhere. Then somebody is saying, can we attend lectures from outside the country through online? Oh, this is Norik Mambo. You see, I have mentioned that Cavendish University, Uganda is among the first three, could be the only ones so far, allowed to teach online, to conduct studies, teaching and learning online. And I know many universities in Uganda will also eventually be approved for this as they put their resources together. Yes, you can study from your country. We've been running Zoom classes on WebEx, classes on Google Classrooms, and several others. And our students are scattered all over the place. Some are in Nigeria, others are in Ghana, in fact, others are in the US. And they have been participating very actively in these classes. In these classes, you look at them the way you are looking at me, and they actually look at you as well. So it is what we call synchronous learning. So you can actually study from where you are. You don't have to come here. There is COVID. Universities are in shutdown, but we are able to continue teaching. You can study online. But of course, there is also a learning platform. Not all classes are run in this manner by way of organizing a webinar or a Zoom class. No, we have uploaded all the content organized in terms of weeks. So every week has intended learning outcomes, has material or content for that week, has a quiz to help you to revise, and ask a question. When you finish that week, you start week 2. If you want to ask questions, there is also a section for chatting with the lecturers and other students. You see, as I was reading, I didn't understand the difference between this and this. Anyone to help your student can come in and tell you the difference, but the lecturer will also come in and correct all of you, or thank those who gave the correct answers. But once in a while, then these classes where you see one another face to face are also arranged. They are part of that platform. So you can study, and in fact, our students are studying from different countries, and it is possible. And they can look at themselves in real time. They can ask questions and get answers. They can chat. In fact, these lectures are also recorded. If you miss a class, for one reason or the other, you can come and view later how the class was conducted and different points that were raised and what the teacher are saying. Modern universities are able to do this. Do I need to say that this should be part of the considerations that you make to choose a university for yourself? Because under COVID, this is the way to go. So friends, I want to thank you for viewing. I still see many people. Time is up for us. I want to thank you for joining us. And I'm seeing people that have been, you are watching from different countries. Thank you, remain our friends. We are in this together. This has been Professor John Mugisha, Vice Chancellor, Cavendish University, Uganda, talking about choosing the right university for your career. Think about online study. Think about developing generic skills. Think about developing skills for employability. Think about ability to study remotely now during the time of COVID. Of course, also take care, observe all the scientific guidelines given by the Ministry of Health in your different countries and the World Health Organization to stay safe from contracting the novel coronavirus. COVID-19 is still here with us. Thank you very much for joining us. God bless you all. Thank you.